There he is.
How you doing?
Hello.
You want to know?
Maybe get you in rather than me.
We'll give people another till maybe 7:05 to join. Hey, Pierre.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Yeah, huh?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. And I have my granddaughter here with me.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
What's your name?
My name is Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Yeah.
I have my grandfather is Alex.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a young pup. He's only 80. Grandpa, are you 80? Well, your birthday's coming up, so you're 81 right now.
I'm 82.
Oh, you're 82.
I'm going 82.
Oh, yeah, you're okay. That's right. You're going on 82.
I have completed 81.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm pretty good at 87.
You're 87.
Yeah. So how many you got?
55.
Looks like Pierre.
That's me.
I miss your bridge, Pierre.
Yeah, that's Don. Hi, Don.
Oh, how you doing?
Pretty good.
So we got two of my guys at the bridge clubs, huh?
Is
Yeah.
that all?
Yeah.
We might have a little delay.
It was easier connecting than I thought.
Have you been playing any bridge, Don?
No, I haven't played bridge since we left.
I play on the computer.
I don't think I'll remember how to play by the time we get back at it.
I play on a computer too, but I realize I can't remember things as well.
Yeah.
That comes with age. That's what we're talking about here.
Talking about remembering. Remember that joke about
Yeah.
that highway patrolman that stops an old man for speeding? And he says, "Hey, why are you going so fast?" The old man says, "I want to get there before I forget where I'm going."
That's right. Except I have the problem. I get halfway there and I say, "Well, where am I? Where am I going?"
That's a good joke.
Well, Grace, you get a chance to see two of my buddies there from the bridge. We'll see
Yeah.
if any more comes up.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, I called Adonios today and said, "You remember there's supposed to be this this thing tonight?" And because I think I got a note, but I just call me if you can't find it. But I don't see her here, so I don't know what happened.
Very good.
Oh,
Grace,
Yeah, Grandpa?
you got to Sharon and Bill Bowser,
Abuser. Mm-hmm.
user. They are on.
Yep.
Logan, who's Logan?
Logan, I'm guessing, is one of Pierre's friends or family.
So you have many people here now.
Yep.
Whom are you waiting?
Well, we're just giving, there's no set, the people can arrive around 7, so there's no set time. So we're just kind of giving people time to get here. But you do know everyone can hear you when you talk.
Are you going to say something about people attending here?
Oh, yeah, we can do that.
Who is Janet? I just saw Janet Carroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do, this is probably, yeah, Pierre, do you want to go around and introduce your people and how you know them?
Well, I think I saw Janet or Judy. Does that?
Janet.
Janet, there we go.
Judy is
Yeah.
trying. I don't know if she can make it, but she's trying to get logged on.
Okay, well, she'll probably make it. Yeah, that's one of my good family buddies. We spend a lot of time together visiting. And as a matter of fact, we spent a lot of time camping together with the motorhomes, remember?
All three of us.
All three of us, yep.
Yep.
Yep, well, thank you for joining.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, we'll get Judy on as soon as she gets on, right? Okay, anybody else? Oh, yeah, well, we have two guys here. Chuck, is your wife around? Maybe I'd like to see.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sitting here too.
Oh,
Up
thank you.
up there where it says Barbara, that's Chuck.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, as soon as the books are published and I have one in my hand, get it to you and we'll make some kind of arrangements to meet and maybe have a little bit of wine or dinner or whatever. But that'll take a little time though, because as far as I think, the book won't be published and out in the open until early November.
So, Grandpa, tell me, how do you know Chuck and Dawn?
They are Bridge Club members.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that isn't bad. They've done a good job getting it out that fast.
We started a year and a half, a year and 3/4. We started in April of 2019.
Uh-huh.
And that young lady is someone that I have got to know, and she's almost a granddaughter to me. Here's my granddaughter, that's right here. But there's another one. Yeah. Well,
That's what the book all about. The book is about old man and young lady.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. All right.
I call you old man. I'm old man too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then let's see, who else? Is Logan is a family friend as well? Pierre, do you know Logan?
Do you know Logan?
No.
No? Oh, well, welcome, Logan. And then,
It might be a different name than
than the person.
There are two I'm hoping that will join, and that's my granddaughter in Denver, which is Hannah.
Okay.
My granddaughter.
Let me text Hannah.
Oh yeah, text Hannah. Maybe we'll get her. Who's the other one I'm trying to wait for?
Was it Morgan or
Mor-
Jordan?
No, not Morgan. Jordan.
Come on now, your mind is clear.
Yeah.
You're still a young man.
You remind me of me. I'm just as bad. But I tell you what.
Where's Kyle?
I think he was gonna log on. He's either watching or over it. I'll have him log on. I think he was gonna listen. Yeah, we'll have him hop on.
I see your dad.
Yeah, and Jordan's, Jordan's, I think he's got to eat something. Here, I'll introduce my people. So we have, my dad is Reese. There's my dad. And then my brother's here, actually. That's my brother waving. And then we have, my grandfather is Alex.
Oh.
And then we have Sharon, I was in grad school with. So, and then we have Anna, who I was in undergrad with, and we were on the same track team. And then Sue, we've known each other a while. She went to my church.
Ah, well, I have a little bit of wine right here, and let me toast it to all of you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
We'll send it
Whoa.
over.
Oh, and there's Kyle. That's my husband.
Yeah, it's only 5 o'clock here, so, you know,
Well, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Who's the handsome guy behind you?
That's Kyle.
Oh,
Hello. You're Grace's other boyfriend, huh? Always on the phone.
He always says, "Who are you texting?" I say, "Oh, Pierre." Who are you playing chess with? Oh, Pierre. So, okay, well, you're still waiting on a couple people, but I guess we can get started. So I thought you could just give a brief introduction of yourself to my family and friends. So just, you can give a little background of who you are and just kind of so that they know who you are.
okay, well, you got to stop me when I get too far into it, because I could talk to you for 2 days about that.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll stop when you need to. But
All right.
great.
Very simple. I'm first generation French. My father was born in France. My mother was born in Switzerland. And I came along in 1933 and spoke French before I spoke English. But that was okay. Oh, there's Janet, Judy. Hello. Hi, Judy. Anyway, let me finish. That's another good friend here, family. Anyway, what else is important with me? I have 4 wonderful children, and I have a nice family, but that's all in the book. And I just love what I'm doing now. Had it not been for this opportunity, this project, this book, a year and a half, we showed it to and started with the printer, with the publisher in February. And what happens there? We had the big worldwide pandemic.
Yep.
And if I didn't have this book to work on and work with the publishers and with Grace, I would have been bored out of my pants. But I'm enjoying what we're doing, and I think you guys are going to all enjoy the book, because you're all involved, many of you, yeah. And let's see what happens. Okay. So as a matter of fact, Grace, why don't you now say how we met and how you got me hookered into writing a book? Okay, your turn.
Okay, so I was in graduate school studying electrical engineering at Virginia Tech, and someone who worked at our lab was graduating, and Pierre knew this, or not graduating, retiring, and Pierre knew this person who was retiring and called her young lady. So Pierre knew her a very long time. So he showed up at an annual event we give, and he was going around the lab, and well, let me back up a little. A few summers ago, I spent in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and lived with a family friend, and she was in her 70s. And so over that summer, I became really interested in the stories and lives of people over the age of 70, or 80 or 60 or 100, but just in kind of later stages of life. So after that summer, I intentionally sought out conversations with people who may or may not look a little bit older. So Pierre, he looked young, but he did look a little bit younger than other people at the lab. So we talked a little bit about research, and then I said, I think my question was, I said, can I ask you a personal question? And he said, okay. And I said, what do you think is the best way to grow old? And so that started we had a little bit of conversation there, and then we met up the next day at another event and talked a little bit more. And then we started emailing, and then I had gathered stories from that summer with those ladies, and I wanted to do something with it. And so then I said, hey, Pierre, would you be interested in writing a book? So that would have been April of 2019. And then after that, I guess you give your perspective of what that looked like.
Well, I'll tell you. Yes, April in 2019 is the first time we met, and we got rolling. You didn't really mention asking about the book and me, co-authoring or something until probably the summer, because we exchanged, and it's in the book. There's a nice series of mailing and calling that we did, and you kind of poked me then, and I said, okay, let's do it. So that was fun. Yeah, I tell you, it's kept me busy, and thank for that. I really thank the Lord above for that, because I would have been bored out of my pants if I had to live without having a job like this, a challenge. That's the word I'm looking for, a challenge. And it was. So
can you talk a little bit about because in the beginning we had some, different perspectives. That's the whole point, is I have a different perspective than you. So when I talked about writing a book, what was intriguing to you about the idea of writing a book about growing old or in retirement age?
Well, it's funny because there's a combination of a couple of things there. One in particular, which I think is very critical, is shortly before that, by that time I was a widower. My wife passed away several years earlier, and I was looking for a way to get back online and get on top of things and stop being just bored. And I read a book which we reference in our book, and it was that I sent to you with some ideas about how you could use that as well in your interaction with the elderly. And so that's where it started rolling. And boy, I tell you, if somebody asked me who are the best friends of mine in the world that are the newest, I'd say Grace, only a couple of years. Boy.
Yeah.
And
yeah, well, and I thought it was interesting. In the beginning, we didn't always see eye to eye, and so we kind of had to have some conversations about, well, how do we want to write the book and what direction we want to take. So I thought all of that was pretty rewarding, because now we're almost always on the same page. But in the beginning, we kind of had different ideas, so we had to work through that, and that was a really great process, in my opinion.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to jump in here and kind of embarrass you, because yeah, you were speaking young and you didn't know exactly how the old people feel, because you're not old. I am. But filling you in with it, like, so I educated you there.
Yeah, exactly. That was a big part of the process and my whole point is we have to learn after you have all those years of experience.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, one other thing that I'm sorry about now is, yes, we started playing bridge, and I'm not teaching you, but chess. And we're playing more and more. And at the beginning, I could win 2 out of 3. Now I'm fighting to being 1 out of 1. For the rest of you that are listening, we've been playing chess probably now for a year, about. And at the beginning, it was easy to beat you. But right now, I have to defend myself because you're getting good.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I think I have it. Here, I'll show. We play Chess with Friends. And so you can see I've lost 6, or I've lost 8, and I've won 6. So Pierre's still got the edge on me, but the game we're in right now, well, I don't know. We're not quite sure how this one's. We're only a few moves away from one of us winning, but I don't know which way it's gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, I think it's a good time to say to the open audience out there, hey guys, any one of you, Don, Chuck, any of you, your friends, Grace, have you got any questions of us? Open?
No.
No? Okay.
Hey, I have a question.
Okay.
I have not read the book yet.
Not really.
I guess if I start to read the book, what I'm old, I'm 82 years old. What kind of lessons or some themes, whatever, I can get out from the book, reading the book?
I can answer that one easy. And you see it in the book a dozen times. Keep busy, keep active, and find a challenge that you have to work on to accomplish so that when you're done, you say, aha. And I'll give you an example. And it's in the book. My brother, I have a brother who is, 7 years younger than me. But he's getting old, and yes, he's retired, and he wants to stay busy. So among the other things he's done, he picked up 2 junk, totally junk, C10 Chevy truck pieces and parts. And he spent a year building a new one up from the ground. In other words, and in the book, you'll see before and after. There was just junk before, but he was busy for a good year building because he welds, he's a great mechanic. Anyway, stay active and find a challenge, and that will keep you on the up and up. I hope that helped.
Yeah, it helps because I have many challenges I need to accomplish. I have hobbies. I have many hobbies. I need to sort them out.
Well, staying active is high on the list. The other one that's on the list is stay involved. Find something where other people are doing something you like. Get together with them. It's very easy to say, hey, I like to do that too.
That's difficult for me. I don't know anybody.
You don't know anybody. Grace,
No.
you gotta fix that.
We're trying. He lives in South Carolina. We're trying to move him to St. Louis where we would know a lot of people, but he doesn't like the cold.
Is he a mushroom collector?
No, that's my other grandfather, but this is Grandpa Alex. He just retired actually less than a year ago. He was a nuclear engineer, and he's originally from China, and so he lived through the couple wars. But now he likes to. Grandpa, tell him a little bit some of your hobbies.
Oh, I collect antiques. I tie fishing flies. I do fly fishing. I patent a fishing lure. I can promote that. I can market my fishing lure, which I have patent.
You have your MGB you gotta fix.
Yeah, I have a car. I have a 73 MGB. Nice shape. I can get that going. I need to get that going. And I can teach. I used to teach college math. I can continue that if I want to. anyway, I have many things I can do to kill my time, but I haven't done any yet. I just
Yeah.
retired a year ago, so I'm trying to figure out what's the challenge, what is the challenge I feel most I want to do. I try to figure it out. I don't have people to talk to. I don't have friends I can associate with. I don't go to church, although I'm Christian. My neighbors, they are I don't associate with the neighbors. Anyway, one thing I'm lacking is people. I need to associate with people whom I don't have.
Well, that sounds good. It's like you're on the right road. Keep going and push a little harder. Okay.
Pierre, are you the oldest in the group here? Or are you the oldest here in our group right now?
Tell them how old
I don't think so.
Yeah, I know Don's older than I am, but I'm coming up on 90.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I'm 95 right now.
I know you got me beat, Don.
Well, Don or Chuck, what thoughts do you? I know your voices are in the book, which we appreciate, but do you echo some of what Pierre said about advice you could give to my young grandpa?
Yeah, I agree with Pierre. You got to stay busy. You have to stay physically busy, otherwise you just go downhill. I make sure that I exercise at least 45 minutes every morning, so I keep myself in physically good shape. But this being locked up because of the virus is another problem, you know. I'd love to play bridge, but you can't play bridge by yourself.
Oh, you can use a computer. I use the computer, and I play every other day on the computer. I play myself against the computer. And luckily, there's a easy or medium or hard, and I do pretty good on the easy. On the hard, I learn.
So Don, you are 95?
Yes.
Boy, you make me feel so young. I appreciate that.
I'm a youngster. Pierre, didn't you get some notes from Bob, who's over 100?
I have in the book a page and a half almost of Bob's, and it was a personal interview. Bob is 101.
That's right. He's got me beat.
Well, he's got you beaten. No, well, let's see. By now,
He's almost 103 now.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Chuck.
So how is his physical condition?
He is
being over 100. He's pretty sharp mentally.
Yes, he drives still a car.
That's right.
And he goes. Well, it was. I don't know about now, but back a year ago when we were writing the book and interviewing him, he goes once a week to a senior care center and dances. And he was 101 at that time. So he stays busy. As a matter of fact, I believe that the last question I asked him during our interview was, what would be the one and only thing you tell other older folks to do to stay happy and enjoyable? He said, very simple, get involved and get involved and interact with other people, especially your age and some younger, but that's really good. Yeah, he's a good. Chuck, Bob, Don, do we know yet from Barbara, which is the person that runs the bridge club, whether or not Bob is still around?
I don't know.
No,
I haven't heard.
I haven't either. Yeah, we should talk to Bob about that. Okay, and it's nice seeing you. So I remember you now.
You had forgotten?
You're one of the guys that's put a lot of stuff in my book because you sent me some stuff that you get from your older folks that I think that story about the policeman and driving too fast came from you.
Yeah.
At least one, and I have other anecdotes in the book, and a couple of them came from you.
Well, yeah. I hope I contributed something worthwhile.
I just said you did, and you get my copy. You're going to be, well, as soon as we can get together, I want to have a great little get together with us here. Okay, pass it on. Open up to somebody else.
I was going to say, I have a question for Grace.
Grace.
Oh, yes.
So, Grace, I want to know, because I've heard a lot about Grandpa's perspective on writing the book. How do you think that writing this book has impacted and changed you? And what are you going to do going forward? Are you going to keep pursuing knowledge and trying to understand the aging process? Or do you have any other projects in mind?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. So writing the book, I think was... Like Pierre said, I had some perspectives, but my perspective was mostly me interpreting or the experience of people who are older. So I think with Pierre, it was really helpful to hear a firsthand perspective. And so kind of what Pierre said, I could guess what would be helpful for aging, but Pierre had a lot to offer. And then reading that book was really helpful too. But then another project, so after the book is finished, I want to continue getting to know people who are older. And so I have Instagram and Facebook where I'm trying to take these conversations and either have it maybe in a podcast format or have short stories about people. Because I think the voices, I mean, this experience has just been so enjoyable for me because getting to hear what Don has to say and just hearing that interaction. I think there's so much young people could learn and how we can prioritize our lives. I think that's the thing I've learned the most, just the way that I think at my age, it's easy to prioritize, trying to climb the ladder and have a bunch of friends. But I think...
Don't mind me asking.
Oh, I'm 27. So,
okay.
I look like I'm in high school. But yeah, exactly. I'm 27, so I'm at an age where, we're just kind of starting to want to climb that ladder and gather friends. But I think what you learn looking backwards is some of that's important, but it's changed my perspective of what's important. So I would really like young people to be able to see that. But there's not a lot of ways for us to connect with older people. So I thought using platforms that are comfortable for us, which is Instagram and Facebook and podcasts, would be a good way for our generation to connect with the older generation.
I like that a lot. I'm an occupational therapist by trade, so I work a lot with older individuals, and I completely agree with a lot of what you...
That's great. I mean, you would have more the professional experience with it. So can you, or I don't know if you could summarize one or two of the lessons you've learned?
Definitely a lot of what Grandpa was saying about keeping moving is, I think, the biggest thing, and where, for me, that's where I see a lot of people starting to kind of break down in their older age is when they stop moving, physically and mentally. So definitely staying engaged, staying socially engaged is very, very important. I think, honestly, this interaction that my grandpa has had with you, Grace, has been one of the most incredible things. And I think more of that is needed. So definitely reaching out to the younger generation, reaching out to the older generations and vice versa is vital to keeping everybody socially together. And definitely just like not losing those family values. Sometimes in my field, you get patients that don't quite have family that come to see them, and that can be heartbreaking. So
Yeah.
That taught me very early on to appreciate the older individuals in my life and to be there for them no matter what. So I think that's important.
I agree with you very much. The fact of the matter is, it's important to keep your mind active. And one of the best ways I found is just to read. It just amazes me how little some people read, and it's a good escape from, the humdrum life you lead as an old person. So I think that's really important, and keep your mind active. I like playing bridge and getting together socially. That's important too. But I use the computer. Don, they have a good bridge program that you can sit and play all day if you want to, and you're competing against other people in it. So it's a good deal. But and the other thing that I find it's rewarding is I always have something to look forward to. Barbara and I used to cruise a lot. That was something in the different cultures and everything like that. We've had to cut that out because of my physical disability right now. But you got to keep like Pierre said, you got to keep your mind active and get involved in things.
Yeah.
I wake up every morning, and the first thing I do is look at the obituary columns. If I'm not in it, I get up.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen that are listening and watching to Chuck here, you don't know, you could not ever be able to, what am I trying? I'm trying to say, I know very personally that Chuck has had some very serious medical conditions that have put him on the edge more than once. And here's a man that beat it and is still enjoying life with his wife. And I am looking forward to a dinner with you and your wife in the future. Chuck, great. And Betty, it's Betty or Barbara? Your wife, Betty or Barbara?
Barbara.
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 And it keeps him going.
Don, you're gonna be there at the dinner too.
Does she have anything to add? Her thoughts?
Well, no, I think it's been very interesting, and I'm very looking forward to reading the book a lot, because Chuck brought the information home from Pierre and was going to do this, but I kind of had to get him started on the computer and get that set up, and then he typed it all in, but then I had to send it off, and so that gave us a little working together on this, and so I think it's a good project, and I got him involved.
Yeah. Something that I think, because Pierre said, whenever we'd have a writing project or a writing day, that was something to look forward to. So something I started with my Grandpa Alex, and Grandpa Alex is good with the computer, is he's not going to want to publish it or put it out for the public, but we've spent the last month working together on his bio. So it's similar. He'll write a little piece of his story and then send it to me, and I'll look it over and send it back to him. So I thought that's another project that's a good way to get family involved. So I don't know if there are that might be another project I'd want to just encourage grandkids or kids to work with their parent or grandparent to write out their bio. And my other grandfather, he isn't as good with the computer, but I said, what the heck, how about you just write it down and I'll start typing it. So I thought that could be another, I don't know how exactly that would work, but to encourage these stories, because I think it it's just beneficial for us to know our grandparents' stories. And then I think it's great. It's a really nice activity to really put down your story and share it with people. And we want to hear it. And so if Don or Chuck or Barbara, you want to write out your bios, we'd love to learn more about your stories.
They actually have things on Amazon that you can find called memory journals. Kind of specifically that have prompts that help also list out important events and historical figures in that person's life, like their parents or like the family lineage as well. So you can find
that's great. That's actually a great resource.
Let Chuck, what are you going to add, Chuck?
What?
Oh, Chuck didn't catch that. Did you want to know what he wanted to say?
Yes.
What did you ask, Pierre?
What did I ask?
Yeah, I thought you did.
Oh, I thought you were commenting on my granddaughter.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Anyway, I'm very impressed with your granddaughter. I think she's.
Thank you. All right, I have an open question.
I think she's gonna make it.
All right. Hello, anybody who has just joined that has not yet said a word. Yeah. Who is that?
Oh, I think that might be my
Did anybody join that we don't know about?
Oh, I muted. I think that might be my grandpa. I have this funny story. Hey, Grandpa, if that's you, Grandpa Watt, I've muted you because it was a little noisy, but if there's a way, if you go on the bottom left of your screen, there should be a way you can unmute yourself. And it has a microphone. So, Pierre, there we go. Hey, Grandpa.
Hi. Yeah, I'm sitting here with all of my other family.
Show the video?
Yeah, we'll do.
There.
Oh, you're with my cousins. Oh, there they are.
Yeah.
Hi, Grace.
Everybody's disappeared.
Oh,
Yeah, we've been tracking you, listening to every word.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
We joined a little late.
Oh, that's okay. Hey. Hey guys, so Pierre, this is the grandpa that does. Hi, Catherine.
The connection is unstable.
So that's all my. Those are my cousins, my aunt and uncle.
Give me the sound.
Oh.
We need help from Joseph. Help, Joseph.
Here, wait, I'll mute that. Hey, I'm gonna mute them for a second. So I didn't realize that was my grandpa because I have this funny story that I put in the book where his name, I knew him as Grandpa, and then I knew him as Daryl, and then I only recently realized that his name was actually Richard. So I didn't even recognize him because his name is Richard. So I thought he was one of your friends, Pierre.
Cutting out on us, we don't hear you.
Oh, can you hear us now?
I think they'd be outside.
I wonder if there's an unstable connection or something.
Yeah, there might be. Let's see. Well, that grandpa, he's 80.
Are you there?
Yeah, he's 83. And he's the mushroom hunter, Pierre. He likes mushroom hunting.
That's something that French people used to like to do, but I have never done.
Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I grew up doing it. Let me see I wonder if he'll contribute any thoughts. I don't know if they can hear us. There we go.
You're cutting out. We can't find you now, Grace. But we're able to hear you and see. Lucas, Joseph is here, and he was able to set up this for us. So we got to see the early part of your program.
Hey, Daryl, is that your house?
Hi, Alex.
Is that your
I don't know
house?
whether you hear me or not, but good to see you.
I can see you.
Good.
Is this your house?
Good.
You're in your house now?
You're getting younger.
Are you in your new house?
Cutting out again.
Yeah.
Hey, Grandpa Alex, I don't think he can hear you. But he's with my cousins. He's with Kyle's family down in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was his new house.
Oh yeah, no, he's on a trip. Oh yeah, that's something my grandpa does. He's 83 and he drove from Indiana down to Texas, and he does that pretty frequently actually to go visit my other cousins.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, and he also he drove to Alaska 2 or 3 times growing up. I mean, or Dad, you can say a little bit more. I guess he's just always driven a lot.
Oh yeah.
Maybe your other grandpa needs to write a bio.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get to him, but he says he'll write things down.
Can't hear anybody.
Oh yeah, we can hear Don. Don, can you hear us? We think we lost him.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's too bad because Don is pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I've been impressed so far. Last time we tried to get my grandpas both on a Zoom call, we could hear one and we could see the other. So this is pretty good. What's our time? Okay, so yeah, we're coming up on almost an hour. So is there any other questions?
I see a name called Jeannie.
Oh yeah, Ginny. That's my brother's girlfriend. So that's Ginny.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Jeannie.
Hi.
I got a question. I got a question for Judy. Judy, are you still there?
Here, I muted a few people. So Judy, can you oh, there we go. Perfect.
Okay.
Good.
How you gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this is Judy. She is, you wouldn't believe looking at her now. She is an angel of a person. Together with her sister, Janet, they have made my life very happy. Now, Janet, if you're on the line yet, ask Janet or Judy, either one of you, ask a question of Grace.
I can't think of anything.
Well, how do you all know each other?
Uncle Pierre.
Oh.
He's married to my aunt. Or was married to my aunt. My mother and his wife were sisters.
Oh, okay. So you on the camping trips as well?
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
We did a 5,000-mile trip in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Leaving Central Texas and going up all the way to Washington State and back around and back through Oklahoma to come back home.
Wow.
That was a trip and a half.
Did you do that often?
Motor trip.
We did several trips.
Uh-huh.
That was the longest trip.
To answer your question, though, Grace, yes, every year for about 3 or 4, we met somewhere in the United States and made a trip. And just part of my book as well is during my early retirement, I had bought a pusher motorhome and I put 120,000 miles on it. And I visited, along with my wife, every state in the Union, except Hawaii. That is to say, with the motorhome, because the roads to Hawaii.
Ask him about the time he went mudding in my backyard.
Yeah, I went. I had my big diesel-powered pusher big motorhome, and I got stuck in the mud behind your yard and the gate there. Yeah, that was a great time. Yeah.
It took him a long time getting mud out of the bottom of the chassis.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah. Hey, Pierre. I'm Jordan. So I'm Grace's younger brother. But so, I mean, this book, I know a little bit about it, but what was your target audience for this book? I mean, were you looking at when you initially thought about it and then throughout the process and the end, what generation are you targeting? If you can even put a percentage on it. I'm just curious about that.
I'm an engineer, research engineer, and I'll not put a percentage because I'd have to have the data to support it. But I'll tell you all my thoughts. One, starting the book with Grace was like a challenge. You're like, oh my, I'm interested in this, but oh my. But then the more we got into it, the more I realized our our coupled thoughts were meaningful to the generation. And we haven't yet used the word journey in this talk here for the last hour or so. We are living as people individual journeys that have for each journey an objective, a target, a reason, a place to go, an accomplishment, whether it's young or old. And it's that which is why the word journey comes into the book and is in the book mentioned many times. It is a journey of life. And I realized that, and which is what interested me in saying, yes, I'd like to put some words in here, maybe it'll help others. The whole purpose, and I know Grace is the same, the whole purpose of our book, as mentioned many times, is to aid and guide those of us who are struggling, olding, or aging, to be happier in our life. Because the more happy we are, the more happy people around us are, and the better world it will be. So, is that a good answer?
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly like to want and hope this book, and I don't care. I'm not trying to make any money out of it. That's not the point. The point is we learn something. Hopefully it can be passed on to us, help them to enjoy life.
I have a question. In the book, how do you address the merging between young and old?
Yeah, how do we address the merging between young and old in terms of, I think we do it. What do you think, Pierre? How do we talk about the fact that there's literally actually, here's an interesting fact. I was born on April 5th and Pierre's April 6th. So we're almost exactly 60 years apart.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a very simple answer. The young and the old are same. They are exactly the same. It's just they are at different times in their life. The young ones, if they don't look forward to what they're doing in the future, are in trouble. We're trying to talk to them. The old ones that are trying to look for something to do and how to do it, we're talking to them. We have help and examples for the young and the old. So to answer the earlier question in the part, is it targeted to the young or old? No. It's targeted to all, young and old.
But there's also a wealth of information from the older folks, too.
Well, the problem with that, my dear, And the problem with that is the more you try to use it and expose it, the more the younger ones say, well, that's an old man talking. They don't hear it. They don't listen.
We older people have a wealth of information, but we find the younger people don't want to listen to us.
Hey, Chuck, you're right. That's it. You're on, right on. Good for you.
Anyway, I've
Okay.
had a good life.
So in
By
the
the way,
book,
Grace, I'm an engineer too.
Oh yeah? What kind of what engineering did you study?
I'm a structural engineer.
Structural?
51 years of doing
Wow.
that.
Yeah, actually, I think with you, Pierre and I are electrical. Sharon's power systems, actually. You're structural and Grandpa's nuclear, so maybe we could, we put our minds together, we might be able to make something.
Well, I was in manufacturing for 40 years.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, Grandpa Alex, did that answer your question or?
no, I was about to ask another question.
Okay, what's your other question?
By reading the whole book, reading through the whole book, can I identify a common theme? Common theme, I don't know if theme is the right word. Common purpose. Can I identify that? Is it being that spiritual, being philosophical, or whatever?
I think I think you could. I think it might take. So Pierre and I definitely. That's where we definitely have different perspectives, just because of our age, purely. So I think we would both agree that we want you to have some takeaways, but we might put those differently. So I would say my takeaway is that I've learned that no matter what you go through in life, there's a lot to be gained and enjoyed and learned after, I've had my job and had my kids and done all those things that I'm focused on right now, that there's a lot of life to look forward to when life looks a lot different. So that's the theme I wanted to communicate to young people. And I think that comes through, but I said it, I said it explicitly and I explained that was my theme, but I don't necessarily, I want people to take away what they find from the book. But Pierre, what do you think is a common theme people might take away?
Well, I was waiting for you to finish because I have something to put a big bang, boom on it. Okay? And it's this. There's a sentence at the very back of the book, probably at the beginning of the epilogue, that says, stop right now as you're reading and think about what you have read. What strikes home with you? The bottom line here is, hey, dummy, if you didn't get anything out of this book, throw it in the trash. But, and you're a dummy because there's a lot to be learned in that book. Period.
I might be the dummy.
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
How about that?
So I'm not reading the book because I anticipate I'll be a dummy.
Hey,
I think you'll get something from a Grandpa.
Grace, we got to make a big recording of this, save it, and if anybody ever asks us, what's our book about, we'll show them and tell them to watch this video.
Okay. We'll say if you didn't get anything from it, you can figure out what we think you are.
Okay. I think we're about ready to end our conversation. Is there anybody out there who has not spoken at all yet? Don't answer unless you're one of those persons.
Jeannie.
Yeah, no, you.
You got me. Well, I joined late, so I feel like a question I asked was probably already been answered. But I am curious, Pierre, your name is Pierre. I'm curious, are you French? Or do you have French ties?
My father was born in France.
Okay.
My mother was born in Switzerland. They met in New York City in the early 20s and married, and I was born as a U.S. first citizen French from my parents. I spoke French before I spoke English.
You still speak French nowadays?
Oui, comment ça va? On peut pas parler maintenant.
Oui, 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 oui.
That's all my.
Il y en a quelqu'un qui peut parler français avec moi?
Yes,
I asked, is anybody out there that can speak French with me? The answer is no. Okay.
The only one of his grandkids that speaks French is my younger brother upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Fluently?
Huh?
Fluently?
What was it?
Are they fluent?
No, just 4 years in high school, but more
perfect.
I can say I'm a native French.
You are. You speak native French.
I like wine and I like good eats.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else got anything important to say? I think we need to close this out.
Well, I'll just say that I'm proud of my daughter, and it's been fun hearing about you, Pierre, from her, and she's enjoyed. I know she's greatly enjoyed working with you, and has been excited about this whole process, and yeah, it's been fun to see her pull this all together. So I'm proud of her, and thanks for working with her.
Well, I got only one thing to add to that. And it's also in the book because it's one of the first things I wrote to her in a response to one of her questions back in 2019. And it was, young lady, you've impressed me. I feel a long way. Do good. Yeah. So your daughter is a great, and by the way, I'm looking at her face now. She's pretty too.
I think Zoom does have a filter, but.
So as a dad, you have a great daughter, and there's a lot of future there for her.
Well,
yeah.
Thank you. I'm thankful for both my kids.
Okay. Well, can I think of her as a granddaughter?
Sure.
Okay.
You and Kyle will just have to work out, the time you're spending with her and things like that. But the granddaughter's fine.
Yeah.
Now, you may have to. Actually, Alex is the one you're going to have to share the granddaughter with, so he might have an opinion as well.
Okay.
Eddie, what's that? Did I miss anything here?
We're saying if he can be another grandpa.
I'm going to be another grandpa in 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's going to be a great grandpa.
Great grandpa. Oh,
my older brother is
okay.
In November.
Oh,
okay.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Yeah. Life goes on.
Nice meeting you, Grace.
Yeah, nice meeting you, Judy.
Yeah. Where's your sister?
You.
Where's your sister?
I think she may be logged off.
She hung off.
About.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. Well,
it's 9 o'clock her time.
Yeah. Oh, she's East Coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, we'll keep everyone updated. We just heard today. We were hoping to hear earlier, so I think the book won't be out till November. But I think we might have that ebook version, maybe end of October.
What's the ebook version?
The ebook version is where you'll be able to get online and get it for 99 cents. So I'll explain it to you later.
How many pages is the book?
It's just about 150. Not too long. So yeah, you'll be able to get that, and so we'll send out an email to everyone in the next few weeks.
Is the ebook condensed version?
No, it's a full version. You just you can read it online.
Oh, okay.
On your computer.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
So
for all of you that read it and really enjoy it and put in a good review, because the review goes back to Amazon, do well. For you, those of you who don't like it, come and talk to me.
Good night, y'all.
All right.
Okay, bye. Bye, Gina.
Bye.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Sharon. Bye, Jenny, Jordan.
Bye.
Bye.